Hello and welcome to Intuitive Clarifications with Natasha. I am here to support you in your life's journey, and I am live on Instagram and Facebook, or not Facebook anymore. I got hacked, so I apologize. I got hacked. So I'm not on Facebook anymore, and it's been trouble to get back on, but I'm not done negotiating that. But at the same time, I am here live on YouTube and Instagram. So thank you for being here. I'm so grateful, whoever is here, to be here. And I am Natasha Venter. I'm an intuitive medium. I do a lot of work with just being the light for the world. And if I can be your light, I'm grateful to be your light because we're in this dance of really trying to figure out a lot of our truths, and we're really in this midst of a lot of planetary changes right now. I mean, the end of September we had the new moon or full moon partial eclipse, the equinox. Then we had a full moon with a full eclipse. Now we have um, uh, uh, June, or we have Pluto that's in another day or two coming back um, into uh, it's coming out of retrograde, and then we have Jupiter going into retrograde. And oh my gosh, yesterday I didn't post about my show very well, and I apologize for that because of the fact that I kind of turned into a migraine yesterday. And it's not. I deal with migraines once in a while. It's just a thing. I don't fall into them. And that's the thing about life right now is that the reality that's with us right now is not necessarily the reality that is with us right now, because of the fact that we're really in this dance of what is the outer world here to show us. And two, I know for me that I've been dealing with a lot of energy at my day job at the elementary school. And that day job, the vibration and the sound, oh my gosh, when you have 150 in a lunchroom, the sound is just sometimes piercing. And thank you, Veronica, and thank you, Paula. I'm so grateful that you know me as a light for you both, and I'm just so grateful. And yesterday I couldn't be a light, with who I was because of my migraine. But that's the thing is that there's been so much energy out there, so much pelted at us. And it's just been one of those things that if we can just discern our way through and get our way more grounded in who we are. But my ears, oh, my ears, that sound of 150 kids in a lunchroom sometimes can even go through earplugs. It's just a vibration and it goes through earplugs, and I want to save my hearing, right? I want to save my hearing. And that's the thing is that right now things have just been, our bodies are really speaking up. So I know part of my migraine yesterday was the planetary shifts that are going on with you know the retrograde of Jupiter, and then Pluto coming back into direct again. And that shift is just going to happen within a day or two of each other. And it's not necessarily that Jupiter going into retrograde, it's been slowly coming into retrograde, and Pluto's been slowly working its way out of retrograde. But the click of when it happens, and remember, when a planet goes into retrograde, think about the re's: rethink, re-know, re-understand, re-apply, re-discern, making sure things are happening, double check yourself. Now Mercury in retrograde, you want to be a little bit more with technology, but Pluto, though, is the planet. It's an outside planet, and it's actually not considered a planet anymore, but it's an outside planet. And when you have those outside planets, the realities go slower, and it's about the outer world. And this is one thing that I've observed in listening to my astrologer that I do, Janet Hickox, that at living-astrology.com, that, like, she says that the outer planets are ones that affect our outer world more. So what did Pluto do for the last couple months here? Because it's a slower moving planet, because it's outer, that it's been rethinking a lot of our old stories, and as governments, and as the societal things, and those kinds of energies. So if you're thinking about it, what's been happening in our government for the last several months, and I'm talking more months, and I didn't write down the date, sorry, but it's that the knowing, I know where I can go check it right here. I can check it right here at my newsletter. How about that? Let's see now. Sorry, that migraine kind of threw me for a loop. That's why I was going to channel a little bit more today because where are you? There we are. Okay, so Pluto was May 2nd through October 11th. So going into this, that what has happened over our summer is that the realities around us, and the story around us, and all that stuff that has been happening. If you really think about this summer, it's been really changing. And what did we think intuitively? I knew that the way that this year came into, I would know really, it felt like a different year by the time that 2024 was going to be done in December. So with going through that shift and change, and if you really think about it, our summer, while Pluto's been in retrograde, our election has not been settled at all. And the other governments around us are like wondering what's going to happen. And then, truth about our food is coming out, and even though all the truth's not out, but a lot of truth has been coming out. And going into that there's been a lot of our outer world that has been affecting us inner worlds, right? And as I put my hands, for those listening to my podcast, I've reached 1,000 downloads on my podcast. I'm so on Podbean, and so I'm so grateful for that. But there's that coming back to self. And so Pluto is about that. And Jupiter here is going to be about discerning through our truths. And isn't that a way? Because Pluto set that up. What is the truth about our food? What is the truth about our government? Are the truths about the people in the government? What is the truth in the society around us? What is the truth about our schools? What is the truth about our weather? What's the truth about all these things that are going on the outer side of us? I'm not telling you what is right or wrong here. I don't want to do that, because your truth is your truth. But I'm giving you the opportunity to ask the questions here. So the outer world, how did that outer world affect your inner world? I know for me, my inner world, I really got that my outer world was just a teller, but it wasn't what my life was supposed to be about. Now, I do have things that affect me in my outer world. Yes, today was a big one for that. But at the same time, now, how did I react and interact with that story? And that's what Jupiter backing up Pluto now is, what are you going to discern through your truths? What are you going to negotiate through your truths? Now, Jupiter's going to be in retrograde October 9th today through February 4th. So the election time, the government being, changing over from one president to the other. It's an obvious thing that's going to happen, right? That there's going to be the obvious change of presidencies. I'm not saying one way or the other here. I'm discerning my truth in a way. I mean, there's been times when I'm floating one way, and then there's times I'm floating another way. So, it is a moment here. I'm going to go back to StreamYard here, that there's this moment where we are able to, and it's really hard because of AI, to really discern into what is a truth. Like there was some videos going out there about how Alexa was telling what was going to happen before this hurricane hit down in Florida. And I'm going to stop this moment and segue that I actually have my mother-in-law and my niece and her family, kids. And then on the other side of Florida, right where everything's going, I have my nephew and my sister-in-law. And then there's other family members. And so I'm just saying that I'm asking for love and guidance. I'm asking that the element of water and air and wind and earth and all that, that it just takes a takes us a calmer breath. I'm not asking it to change directions. I'm not asking it to go. I'm just asking it to mellow down. Just mellow down. It's kind of like somebody being angry, right? It's somebody being angry that we get, that it's been had its chance to have its anger, but coming down, and whoever's involved with whatever's happening, mother nature, god, whoever's in charge of this whole scenario, I'm asking for grace and ease for those that are going through it. It is a dance, and who are we and what we're doing? And I have not watched the news, so I don't know how powerful it is. I'm just asking that the elementals of these beings of this water, and the elementals of wind and air, because wind is stronger than, I mean, wind and air are, I know, the same element, but it's like, but the wind is sped up air, just like the water surge is more water. So I'm asking water, I'm asking the frustration and the emotion of the water surge to calm down, to be loved and be heard and hugged. And so with that we can work with a lot of the energies out there. And that's the thing, is that we all have a lot of frustrating angers. Thank you, Veronica, for having prayers that way. We have a lot of energy out there. And going back to it, me being in the lunchroom with all these kids, there's a lot of energy. That little gym represents the energies that are actually multiplied going out. And so when you're discerning through something, remembering that things haven't always been for our greater good, and what kind of brainwashing is going on out there, what kind of this and that is going on, because Mm, the way that negotiating this evil with love is an interesting place. And what a way for things to be represented. But the kids tell it what's going on, and oh my gosh, they have been going, and then they've been going, and they've been going, and they really haven't been wanting to listen to authority. Does that sound familiar? Not wanting to listen to authority. But us as adults know that you have to stop at the red light. You have to do these things because it's about being kind to the fellow man, right? So Paula, thank you for being here. My kids and other families are in Tampa area. Some already know power. Oh, see, I knew that there was other people that I kind of would know. Apparently left at the right time. Oh, good for them. I mean, I know it was hard to get out, unless you got out on Sunday, Saturday, Friday of last week. It would have been hard to get out of town too, because of all the gas shortages and stuff. But that's what's on videos. There again, if we stand in fear, if we stand in all this stuff, we're going to tap into the flow. And that is almost like I don't want to call it brainwashing, but it's a la 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 moment. And so, going into this, that all we can be is who we are, and discern. And I've been watching this one gentleman, and I'm sorry I didn't write down his name, but he has a lot of the words. Now, sometimes words don't come to me because of the fact that with my dyslexia, I have not had a lot of words in my dictionary, personal dictionary, and so he has a lot of those words in his personal dictionary. And I love hearing his words for how I have knowings. And so with that I've been listening to him, and I'm gonna try to find that out and put it in the information later on this podcast. But he's asked the question, what is my personal resistance to? What is my personal resistance to? Because the outer world is showing our personal resistance. So if we're having problems with peace and quiet, what are we resisting to have in our life? Peace and quiet. There's a part of us that says, I don't know what to do if I'm quiet. I don't know what to do if I if I'm not okay. I don't know what's going to happen to me. So I'm resistant to really having that full truth come forward. It's that breath. It's that breath that he's actually talking about. It's that breath of knowing I'm safe. I'm safe no matter what's going to happen. And that's the thing, is our outer world's going to be happening no matter what. It's going to happen. How many presidency were we at these crossroads? How many? I can tell you several of them. Back when Kennedy became president, that was a crossroads. I know when Nixon came in, that was a crossroads. I know when we were in the wars, that was another crossroads. Our world is about struggle. It's practiced struggle. But what do we do with struggle? We resist it instead of walking with it. And it's not meaning that it's okay. It's not saying that it's not going to be it's not right or wrong, right? It's about how do we interact with it. Now, an example today. I knew going in that this morning that one of my coworkers wasn't going to be there, and she runs the playground with me. She helps cover the grass area, the field area, as the kids walk around. Now, I'm not going to how I don't know how big this class. It takes about 6 laps for the kids to do a mile. And so I mean, it's not small, but it's not big, but it's a big distance from, if somebody starts a fight, it would take me a little while to get to the backstop or to the gate where kids are coming through. And plus I had about, I would say, maybe 30 kindergarten foundation Ks lining up. And that's what I'm responsible for, is a blacktop. And then there's 2 other people that are responsible for the playground. Well, I was the only one there. I was the only one on campus safety at the time. And I radioed in saying, hey, just wondering, is a sub going to be here? Because she told me that she might be a few minutes late. And she says, well, they're on their way. And I said, well, I need somebody out here now because I'm the only one out here. The radio went on. Is there anybody who can assist? And then nothing happened. Now I'm only out there for 15 minutes, so it's not like an hour-long situation. Otherwise, I really would have complained. But one thing that I understood is that I am responsible for how I react, how I interact with this. Now, there was times where things were starting to get a little bit heightened, especially when I had one kid who ran up to me and in tears, another kid who was in tears, and another kid who was in tears, and I was like one person. Breath, hugged the one that knew who I am, and I said, basically, you have my love with you, right? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll check in with you in a little bit. Remember, you have my love with you. Okay. And so I said, and I'm sorry, but I have to go take care of this. So I went and took care of the kindergartner that was crying. Then I took care of another kindergartner that was crying because they're still getting used to being in school. So they were going through leaving parents, something new, 4-year-old, not knowing what they're going to do. They're going to cry. They don't know what's going to happen, right? But I knew that there was, how do I respond to this struggle? Do my better. Turn around, trust my instincts, for one, trust my instincts. And that's the thing, is that when we're in the middle of going somewhere, it's about trusting your instincts. So when I turned, there was kids who were, headlock, hands to self, guys, screaming across the playground. Then I would look up here, and then I'd look over there and look over there. Pretty soon the bell rang. All I could do was my better. And like a coworker said, nobody died, did they? Nobody got hurt, did they? You did a good job. So we have to take a win where we get it, however that looks. But I'm going to have to voice to the principal again, that Nancy put something out there that is not going to happen. And I know that your hands are full. I know Mike's hands are full. But at the same time, though, there's things that are happening that when you have 200 to 300 kids on a playground, there's something that can happen. What if? Not going to go there. Nothing happened. I'm grateful for that journey. But one thing that I witnessed, though, and this is where I know the universe steps in. And I got another story about how the universe can step in here in just a second. But there was half the kids on the playground doing laps. They were in there eating breakfast. Might have been still being dropped off by cars. I don't know. But I know that there was half the kids on the playground this morning. Thank you. Thank you, universe, who takes care of me. Now I'm going to segue into why I kind of looked at it that way. I was walking. It was late start Wednesday, so I go out on the playground just a little bit early with some other kids, and there was this worm. This worm making a mad dash, as a worm can, across towards off the blacktop, or he was on the blacktop, and he was heading towards the school. So he went from bark and moisture to dryer and a building. And I walked up, bigger, can see where he was heading. I said, okay, I'm going to pick you up here. Picked him up because he was spread out. I mean, he was a pretty long worm. Picked him up and he was squirming around. You know, I don't want to be picked up. I don't want to be picked up. And I got the feeling he was on a journey. You know, he's on a journey. And I politely said to him, I said, I know that you were going somewhere, but I want to make sure that you're safe. I didn't want you stepped on. I didn't want you to dry out. So I'm going to take you to a place where you can finalize your journey for wherever you're going to be. And as soon as I started having that calmer energy in me, the worm stopped wiggling, struggling. And then pretty soon I was like, okay, I'm here. And as soon as I said I'm here and I opened my hand, he just politely went through and he dropped down into the grass where I took him, because I took him to the fence line so no other kids can walk on him. And what I got was that if we trust, we as humans do not know where we're going. Us humans do not see the future. Us humans do not see what's happening. Us humans do not see the bigger picture because we're not. I mean, even me being intuitive, I don't see all that can happen because there's too many human choices involved right now. But I know whoever you believe in, the greater power of whoever you believe in, has the opportunity, if we stop struggling, will take us to our greater good. Will take us to our greater good. And that resistance that we have many a time sabotages our greater good of our path. So if you're done with the struggle, and I'm so sorry I don't have his name because, like I said, these are knowings that I have, but he asked certain questions at certain times that it was like, oh, my intuition knew all this stuff, but my humanness needed to hear something. Like the conversation about what is my personal struggle? What is my personal resistance? So when we have something that comes up that is not feeling comfortable, the worm being picked up, what is our personal resistance to the opportunities that are coming forward? Because I know the universe has taken care of me, is taking care of me, and will always take care of me. Ain't that a statement? The universe has always taken care of me, is taking care of me, and will take care of me. And when we can believe that, we slow down the resistance of where we're at. Just like me picking up the worm, going in a direction, it was destined to die within probably the next 10 minutes. I don't know what happened to him. I'm hoping he's still alive. I get a sense he's still alive. I don't know how long worms live, but I can understand that when we take our resistance to what is happening away, it's kind of like talking with a bully. If we resist that they're triggering us, if I get done with that resistance that they're triggering me, then they're not bullying me anymore. Yes, if I get beaten up, yes, it's a bully thing. Yes, I get that. This is just talking about how we negotiate where we're at and what we're doing. Hello on Instagram, and hello everyone who's watching. Thank you for being here. Please like and follow if you like what I'm saying. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. But I'm wondering if you can look at your personal story and see where you are resistant to your life moving forward. Because we're all in this dance. Am I worried about where the election is going to turn out? Kind of. But I'm letting go of that resistance because I know that it's going to turn out however it's going to turn out. And how is my reaction to it? How is my reaction to it? It's kind of you can make the statement, it's above my pay grade. This is when I use the mantra, I'm asking for divine healing on this. We're in the middle of a lot of different scenarios in our life that we don't yet know what's going to happen. But if we resist the dance, going back to when I picked up that worm to save it, and it was resisting me carrying it, when it relaxed, it didn't fall out. It wasn't going to be dropped off early. It wasn't going to be killed because it dropped off and fell at a long distance. No, as soon as it said, okay, I'm along for the ride. Okay, I'm going to trust where you're taking me. And then slowly I walked over and it slowly, as I put it closer to the ground, slowly slithered through and landed nicely into the grass. We're at where we're at. And that's the story of many things in our realities. Is that many times we're resistant to the world around us. So then the world around us is going to make sure that we want to learn that experience a little bit more to calm down the resistance. So going forward and who you are and what's going on, there's other times where life is going to be scary. Now this application doesn't apply for every moment in your life. There are times where things are going to happen and you have to be interactive and you're going to go through struggle. You're going to go through resistance. That is called grief. That is called anger. That is called the moment of fear. But what I'm talking about is that when we can really sit down and in our knowings, after the reactionary time happens, and get into more of that interaction, then that's where Jupiter's going into retrograde, finding our truth. What is our discerning through our truth? What is that knowing of where we're at with our truth? And so going into this, and I just got to tap intuitively. See, this is where the universe steps in, that I can do this. Let's see here, because I got it where I was. Oh, here he is. Bayer. David Bayer. Um, uh, the universe wants you to hear this. So David Bayer is who I got that conversation from. Uh, so now I found him. Thank you. See how the universe sometimes, when you're in intuition, it kind of pops in. It pops in. So going into this, that I've been listening to his podcast before I go to bed and when I'm waking up because of the fact that he's got language that my humanness needs to hear, even though my intuition and my higher self and my soul knows this story. But there's something that my humanness has been needing to hear about his tone in his voice and the questions he's asked. Like he's asked the question to me in your childhood memory, what is it that you have the memory of with money? And the first thing that popped in my head was elusive. Oh, elusive. Money is elusive? Ooh, I need to make it solid and bring it down and be it with me. Because of the fact that now I'm done with resisting that I have the ability to have the currency, and that's another word he used was that money is a currency. They used the word currency. So it has energy. So I am now tapping in because my humanness, Natasha human, was questioning some questions, and now the universe is coming in and giving me answers. With that, that the currency of money, I'm tapping in to bring it down and bring it into uh, that was weird. So I wonder why my YouTube channel, my YouTube live went off. That was weird. Okay. So I'm going to go back on here. Um, so, it is where we're at and what we're doing. Just like that happened. I'm done with the resistance of things going wrong. And I'm flowing with them. I'm negotiating them. And how do I negotiate that? And, it could have been that just something went over strides. So I don't know. But when we're going into this and how we're doing this, I want you to remember that you are loved and that you have knowings. And I even questioned about going on Instagram before I came on here. So intuition maybe told me something that was going to happen, right? Okay. So I told you, okay, so that was my things that I wanted to talk about. Oh, dreams. This was another thing about dreams. Okay, I'm done with Instagram here. Okay, now you're live. So I pushed a button. Okay. So going back on live on Instagram here. Sorry about that, guys, because I don't know what happened. I just went blurk. But, going into this, that, dreams. Can you guys tell me, are you having dreams? How are your nights going? Are you waking up frustrated or tired more, or are you feeling like you run a marathon, or how are you feeling with your night? If you can maybe tell me a little bit. Are you having a lot of dreams? I know for me that one night I woke up and actually my arms were flailing and my legs were flailing because I was fighting somebody. I forget now who I was fighting. That was about 3 or 4 days ago. But I had another dream that happened not last night, but the night before. And it was very pivotal. And it really made sense for what I went through the next day or two here. Is that, I've been really working on a lot of that part of me, that human part of me, that Natasha part of me that has these whispers that are holding me back. And so going back in this, thank you for coming back on. I don't know what happened. The Instagram blocked out on me, blunked out of me. And so going into this dream that I had that I was in a place and I was picking up these things that had layers of dust on them, layers of dust, and there was items, and I went to go blow it, and then I went, wait a minute, stop. And so I went and I got something to wipe it off so that I wouldn't be breathing in all that dust. And then there was some newer stuff that I was going to replace it with. So that was the theme of the dream, was that I had some old dusty things, but I was bringing in some new things. Guess what I'm doing? I have my uncle's camera, a Canon camera that I'm going to try to get rid of here. It's a film camera. I don't know who's going to take it or whatever, but I know it's time to leave. I've had some other things that have been old and stagnant in my thought. Even my thoughts about my currency and the monies in my life and the currency of it, and understanding that how my old self reacts to things. So going into this is a metaphor for real things, cameras and stuff like that. And then there's been these other things that have been happening that create me bringing in some new ideas, some new concepts, some new understandings. And Paula, I know I don't remember a lot of my dreams either, but when I do remember them, that they're very poignant moments. And that's the thing, is that a lot of times it's our subconscious that's giving us an intuitive message, or it's wanting us to process through something that we're going through. So getting rid of, dusting off these old things and getting rid of them. Very rarely do I remember my dreams too. Yeah. So, that's the thing, is that many times when we're dreaming, we don't remember, or when we're sleeping, we don't remember our dreams. But there's something about when we do go into that moment where we're first waking up, maybe we're going in and out of something or something like that, that when we go into this, that a lot of times when you have the dreams, look at what it stands for. For me, dusting off these really thick, dusted, stagnant stuff that I had in this room, whatever I was in. I don't remember the details. I just remember that it was cluttered. That it was like, how can I get this dusted off? And then I was like, why am I dusting it off? I'm just going to get rid of it. So that metaphor of moving things in and out, well, this is the time, really. Jupiter's going into retrograde, moving out those old truths. There's a lot of things that we don't, that the drinks that we're drinking, some of the vitamins that we pick up at the toothpaste that we always pick up at the grocery store, that we think that is good, maybe that's not our truth anymore. We find out something about it that, oh, no wonder I've been, like for me, I'm really cutting out a lot of my fluoride. So I've been brushing my teeth just with maybe a little bit of toothpaste or no toothpaste. And my gums, um, they've actually, but I've been doing a lot of other things. I've been chewing a certain gum. So my gums were receding. And so, and not a story about about life and receding into it. So what I've done is I've been humming with water in my mouth to stimulate the blood in there. And so I've been swishing water around, trying to get the blood going in there. And then also I've been uh, brushing my teeth, but with nothing, or with a little bit of toothpaste once in a while. I need to find that in between. I haven't found the in between yet. I haven't really done my research yet to know what's right for my truth. I might go down to the co-op here and find something. But going into this, that I'm ready for things to rebuild. I know I can. I have rebuilt my life. I've changed my DNA. Why can't I rebuild some of these tissues, the tissue of my gums and the tissue of my joints? I know I'm getting to the older side of life. Yeah, but at the same time though, do I have to be older in my older side of life? Ain't that a metaphor? I'm done with that resistance. Yeah. I mean, I went to the chiropractor and boy, he really adjusted my hips, and whew, I usually can get right up off the couch or off the floor, but it was a little stiff going. But it's like, what do we do and who are we? So if you can go back to that warm moment in your life and go from a destination that you thought was right, and the universe is coming in and giving you a different idea. As I picked up the worm and it struggled, it wiggled, it twisted, it turned. I can get it. It's a primal thing. Our resistance is a primal thing sometimes when change comes in. But remembering that things and ideas come in to support you in your life's journey. And you can concept all you want, you can negotiate your thoughts all you want, but until you're willing to walk with the universe and what it's giving you a hint to do, reply to this email, go to the grocery store right now, call up a friend, whatever these things are with what you're doing, that when you get that tap for the universe, you never know where it's going to pick you up and bring you to a place that is a blessing. So it's at the 40. I told you I was going to be channeling today, and I didn't know really what I was going to talk about. But, sometimes you don't know what you're going to do, and this is what ended up coming through channeling wise and life walking forward things. But I do have Mikhail. Mikhail wants to come and talk to you guys. And like I said, when I channel a being, I want you to know that you don't have to believe I'm channeling. At the same time, though, there might be a language, there might be something that is to be heard that they want you to know. So going into this, I'm getting prepped. Can you tell? That I want you to remember that your truth is your truth. I'm here to bring a light and love and maybe a question on how to find your truth. He's here. Okay. And after this, I will be doing pulling oracle cards. So if you want an oracle card on Instagram or um, on my YouTube channel, just let me know. Let's see. I'm going to do Wisdom of Avalon, and I'm going to do Ascendant Masters. I'm going to do Ascendant Masters. Those are the two. So if you want a card, if you can put that in, because I do not open my eyes when I'm channeling. Most of the time, I allow them in. Okay, so Mikhail is a brother of a lot of the star beings of the councils who are coming upon this earth to support us in our life journey. They are here to teach us that us humans are what we are, and we are what we think we are. So remembering, if you think that you have drama in your life, do you have a lot of drama in your life? Okay. So Mikhail is here to support us in this life journey, and he has chosen to come to me as of this summer. So here he is. Hello, dear ones. I, Mikhail, are here to be in your life to give you guidance through the changes that you are going through on this planet. We have, as a committee of council, we are going to be giving you some knowings of through your stories and through your dance, because of the fact that we have been connected with this earth since it was in its fruition coming forward. So going forward in this life of yours, that right now you are in such a pivotal time of your reality. Yes, the matrix, as you choose to call it on this planet, but that statement is going now away because of the fact that it is a dimensional walk. It is about dancing in and out of the realities that you are doing. And yes, the dance is the word. Dance it instead of struggle. Dance it to a tune that you choose to dance to. Your music that you choose to dance to is not always in alignment to your life, though. So you may need to change the music. Like this dear one has been dancing to Enigma, and yes, she says that now, but usually she cannot say that. Enigma is a band who does a lot of sound, and it is aligning her body form into another layer, and that's why she is being called to listen to it. It is a softer music. Her rock music that she usually listens to is not in her vibration. It is actually too loud. That is why her ears are getting realigned, and that's why the vibration of sound is a little bit interesting for her right now. So remembering that sometimes when things are not aligning with you, it is about an evolution of change. And that's why we gave her this worm story today, because that worm struggling when she first picked it up was fear. There was fear that she was going to be eaten because of the fact that worms are eaten. They are a predator animal. And so with that it was going into struggle to wiggle out of mouth of a bird. But it did not know that it was in the hands of safety, did it? And so going into this, that as you go forward, remember you are in the hands of safety, even if it does not look like it. I know that your friends down in Florida, this corner of the world that you are in, are going through a struggle right now with the water element and the wind element. This is not all in fruition of Mother Earth, though, is it? And we know that people are playing with the dance of things because, as the story is, There is too many. There is never too many. It's about being in community with everyone because everyone's going to have their own story. But people think they are better than others, and yet they are not. But they are learning their personal lesson right now. So do not worry, the balance is coming forward. We do not know what balance looks like yet because it is not here yet. Balance has never been on this planet. Do you understand that? Balance has never been on this planet, and balance will not be on this planet until there's big changes that have happened. So remembering that as you go forward and into your story, that you are part of this dance of collective thought. Are you in collective thought with worry and change? That would be the question. You have the opportunity to not be in worry and change. Change is happening all the time. You have changed clothes in the morning to night and night to morning. You have changed where you park your car. Even if you park it in the same place, you have changed where you park it. Change is all around and it is changing quickly. So do not get stuck that this is the way things is because it's not always the way things are going to be. It is what it was, and actually that is changing because it is changing the present time right now to change the future. So remember being centered in yourself like a tree is. A tree only uses its roots when it needs to. Nutrition and stability. Other than that, it is in the trunk. The trunk of the tree is where life is and its backbone is. Its leaves and its branches take in nutrition and to aid support to its friends, the birds, and other animals that scurry along. So going forward, the trunk is the stability, the center of its reality. So going forward, remembering that your feet are about balance. Your knees are about to pivot, but your hips, that area of yourself, is about the stability and the centeredness of you up through your spinal system. If you think the spinal system is like a tree, isn't it? And it has its own leaves and branches flowing off of the nerves. There is no mistakes in your body. The mistakes of the body are ones that were given to you through other humans' choices. So be careful of what you take in those human choices. You are not to starve yourself, but you are to discern yourself. We are here for you in the story of life, but yet at the same time, remembering that we cannot be with every moment. So your personal choices are the gifts of this planet Earth. That is why Jupiter, as you call it on this planet, is about finding that truth. There is only one truth, and that is love. Love can heal. Love will be what it's meant to be because the human aspect adds its own salt and pepper, as you might say, into the sound of the things that have love. So remembering breath is love. The water element is love. Tough love down in Florida. Those old belief systems, those old knowings. Many people have been predicting about Florida not being here anymore. It will. It's just change. Trust the process of reality and know that you are in a balance of life. The earth is going through major changes right now because you are going through major changes right now. That is why the earth, this dear one, has felt many little tremors of the earth lately. And that is okay. She is not in fear. She is in acknowledgement that things are changing. We will warn those who really want to know about if they need to worry about something. Other than that, live your life the best you can because you are a miracle in the works of where you're at, as this one has said in her mantra for this month. This has been you are. I value the I value that I am the miracle that I am, because we are all light and vibration, and you are light and vibration of the body, but then it has been dimmed through story and change. It is time for you to believe that your love is part of that light. So live a light, loving way, and you shall make a change in this world of yours. Do what you can and be where you're at. You are guided. Trust the guidance. My love is with you. The love of the universe is with you. And it is time for you to believe that you are in a miraculous time of change. But you being a positive aspect to that change can change the realities around you. Even if you may not know, like this dear one does not know what happened to that worm after she let it go, trust as the universe believes in you that we move you and let you go because it is personal choice. So take charge of your life and responsibility for it, as you are responsible for its vessel, the body, and know that things are going to be changing soon, but it takes disruption to make creation. My love is with you. So be it. Namaste. Wow. It takes me a minute to come back from that one. He's way out there. Whew. My innards almost feel like they have to go back to something to center after I get done channeling him. Okay, so Veronica says that she wants the Ascendant Masters. Paula says either deck will do. And Instagram or anybody else want a deck. So let's do, since Veronica said that she would like the Ascendant Masters. So remember, when you are going to be getting a reading, remember that that all you need to do is put out your thoughts, and it's like the text or a phone call. It will pick you up on the ethers. Remembering also that if there's a card pulled and there is something that is said inside of that and it resonates with you, all card readings are a personal story, yet we can glean something off of it if it's meant to be. Okay. So if you're watching later or listening later and there is a card pulled for you and you didn't know that there was a card pulled for you because it's like it resonates with you, it's meant to. Okay, so Veronica, putting your desires out there. There we go. There's the connection. Okay, too sloppy there. Okay, Ascended Masters. What does Veronica need to hear, want to hear, is called to hear for her life journey? Okay, universe, let's go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Just got to clear 'em. Okay. Work on your magic. And it was upside down. So, Veronica, working on your magic. It's time for you to kind of contemplate right now, is what I'm getting. This is Saint Germain. Saint Germain. I love Saint Germain. Okay, so let's read Saint Germain. Saint Germain. Come on, where are you, Saint? Oh, maybe it's this one. Work on your magic. I haven't really watched these here, so work on your magic. Work on your magic. That's what I need to look up. Okay, so Veronica, this one is yours, Saint Germain. You have the power to resolve the situation you're inquiring about. This card signifies your untapped magical abilities, which you've used successfully in the past. Pull these abilities out of storage and use them to work your magic now. Your clear and focused intentions, positive expectations, prayers, desires, and actions, steps all create the healing and manifestations you desire. In addition, meaning of this card, decide clearly what you will and won't accept in the situation, as you clearly will bring immediate results. Have steady faith in positive outcome. Steady alchemy and manifestation principles. Saint Germain isn't a Catholic saint, but a count from the French region of Saint Germain. He was known as a wonderman of Europe during his lifetime in the early 1700s. Saint Germain was renowned for his magical abilities to give gems and fountain of youth like elixirs to his many friends. He was the virtual magician in the lineage who was beloved by the royalty and blue collar workers alike. Saint Germain helps light workers who wish to work towards world peace, bringing the integrity and honesty in governmental and other systems. Ooh, that's a story I didn't know about. So Saint Germain was upside down. So what I'm getting is that it's a little bit of time. You don't know the full picture yet to work your magic. So take a little bit of understanding, Veronica, that things just haven't shown themselves all the way to make the right movement. So be just a little bit more patient. You'll get the knowing, because this card is about to turn upside down. So remember that you have the power to resolve the situation you're inquiring about. You have the power. Sometimes it's about being and just not saying anything. Sometimes it's just about being. I'm done with this. I'm done with that. Type of thing. So there's your card. Okay, so Paula, you would like a card. Which one does Paula want? Okay, Paula, you have this one. This one's. You got the Ascendant Masters, my dear. They were speaking to me for you. So this one's for Paula. I'll be patient, she says. Sometimes patience doesn't mean that we don't walk forward, though. Patience sometimes means that we have to be ready to do the walk forward. We do the practice. We do the concepting. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do there? Changing the concept, changing the mindset, just shifting up things so that, it's like the worm was going somewhere, right? Is what they're telling me. The worm was going somewhere. So it wasn't not moving, but it wasn't going in the better place for it to survive its dance in life. So then it asked me to pick it up and take it to another journey. So even though we may be going some way, be ready for the universe to say, try this instead. Okay, this one's for Paula. Thank you, Paula, for being here. Appreciate your support, all of you. Okay, this is for Paula. What is Paula? Who wants to come and speak to Paula? Boy, Paula, you've been really learning your experiences lately, haven't you? Ouch. Okay, come on. Who is it? Who is it? Okay, I'm hearing it's this card here. Okay, this card here is priorities. King Solomon. Priorities and King Solomon. Okay, here we go. Priorities. Let me go to priorities. Positive changes, power, priorities here. I'm going to do this because Instagram dropped me again. King Solomon, devote time to your highest priorities, even if it means getting to bed earlier or later. This is a wonderful time to work on priorities that are near to dear to your heart. Even if you're confused about how to approach this project, or you fear whether you'll be able to accomplish your dreams, do it anyway. You'll feel elated by the time and energy you have invested in your true priorities, because your inner self will feel the love and well cared for. As you invest in your priorities, you invest in yourself. Additional meaning of this card is let go of procrastination or perfectionism. Break your major goals into baby steps and take one step at a time. Revamp your schedule so that you devote regular time to your priorities. Be assertive in saying no to anything that diverts you from your path. King Solomon ruled Israel following the death of his father, King David. Solomon was a wise and open-minded man who understood the power of the goddess thanks to the influences of his many wives. Solomon used spiritual alchemy to build the temple of Ark of the Covenant based upon architectural plans that his father had resolved in heavenly vision. Call upon King Solomon to resolve dilemmas, to build new projects, to foster tolerance among various religious and spiritual paths. So I'm hearing for you, Paula, that he wants you to remember that you're at that like 95, the 95th step of your reality, and so don't worry about where the destination is in, because you're coming into your empowerment time. This is going to be a time for you to it's almost like you've gone through 95% of your walk and now you're at that last little part. But trust the process and ask for him to come in and help you, because he is bringing in the light and the knowledge above. So trust that process. Okay, is there anybody else who would like a card? I am going to pull a card for the main story here. I went over a few minutes. I apologize. You'd like a card from the Ascendant Masters, a new chapter I'm about to embark on now. My papers just got signed. Good job. Good job, JH. Okay. Okay. Woo. Okay, so I was doing these cards. I will get to you, JH, in just a minute from the Ascendant Masters. Okay. This is a card for everybody. High Priestess, discernment, uh, precision, prophecy, vision. So remembering that we are in this magical time, and there's a difference between the masculine energy that's been ruling the world and coming into more feminine balance. And so going into this, that I'm feeling like that there's going to be this balance coming forward, but we're not going to really feel it until the new year. Now, remembering we're going to have a lot of loved ones, and I'm hearing about some people that are very close to me that may not make it here. I'm sending them light and love, and I'm really wanting them to negotiate this story. But changes are happening. So with this, it's about coming into your own empowerment. And remember, we have masculine in us and we have feminine in us. And so when we can find that balance of the two, it's about finding that love for yourself. There's one more card for everyone here. It was the top card. Okay. Burden. So the card burden is upside down. It was upside down in the deck. So burden. Be done with the burden. You don't have to carry the world. You don't have to carry anybody else but your own self. So, and that even means if we're married, it's about finding that balance so that we can turn the card over so that we don't carry the burden, because we do have help. Okay, as always, right on. Thanks. Paula says, you're more than welcome. Glad I could be right on. Okay, so this is for JH. Okay, here we go, JH. Okay, what does JH? What is the Ascendant Master that wants to help JH? Okay. Well, these cards popped off, and I'm not going to read all 4 of them because I'm now over, but I wanted you to know. Okay, so Jesus says, open your heart to love. Okay. And that love is going to change the world we're in, because Green Man wants to come and retreat into nature. So remembering that, that story, that if you get grounded in what you're doing, walk barefoot once in a while, stand in the water, in the shower, and just be with nature, that you can negotiate and find love for self. And then yoga. So in other words, come back to body. Do you notice that this is the theme, is that even though you have big things happening outside of you, stay coming back, because you are seeing the situation accurately, Horse. So that is the card. You're seeing the situation accurately. So trust your instincts as you're walking into this new nature. There's going to be things there's things that you're not going to know, but yet at the same time, there's going to be a part of you that knows what to do. So believe in that part of you that knows what to do, my dear. Okay. So these were tremendous cards. So you got Jesus on your side. You got Green Man, retreat into nature. So ground yourself. Do some physical activities to relieve the stress, and that you've seen the situation in the right interaction. So I hope that helped you. And I know that you are all loved. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also know that no matter where you're at, This is a time that it's a holy blank, 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 blank moment. And all we can do is really take care of ourselves. How do we react and interact with the world around us to find your truth? Remember, you can be on the side of love over anger and frustration, even though love can be tough. Tough love, it's not wrong, but it's about boundaries. I've learned about some boundaries myself that I've needed to have. And I've been doing the work for a long time. So remembering you are you and you have a chance to be you. And this is the time to really use that discernment. With Jupiter coming into retrograde, finding our own truths and our own knowings, and really looking at them in a new light, as that worm story was about picking it up and carrying it over to where it needed to be. That's a bigger metaphor for this life right now than we all know. Hope this helps. May blessings be with all. And remembering that you are a miracle in the works is the mantra for this week. And let me see here. Next week is the second week. Oh, I'm on the radio with Martha Norwalk's. Look on my YouTube channel or my on my website, Intuitive Clarifications, to find out the details on that. Thank you again for everyone. Blessing be to your journey, and know that you are walking into this time where and oh yay. I'm Natasha Venter at intuitiveclarifications.com. See you next Wednesday at 4 o'clock Pacific time.